Right, guys, welcome back to the tackle room. We've got a very special guest today, Mr. Andy
Where?
May. How are we doing,
Where?
mate?
Where is he? When's he arriving, Alex? Come on, tell me.
But yeah, we're going to talk all things FishO, mate, aren't we? We've got obviously the
Absolutely.
first qualifier coming up next Saturday at Tunnelbarn
Yeah.
Farm.
Yeah. Proper. Can't wait for it to get underway again, mate. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and FishO is one of them competitions, isn't it, mate? I think it's gets talked about, the biggest one in the country, isn't it?
It's the one, Alex, that genuinely everybody wants to win, and obviously that's why it sells out so blooming quick, mate. You've got to be on the ball with it,
Yes.
getting the tickets. The other competitions, yeah, brilliant, but FishO is the one. Obviously, money aside, it's getting your name on that blooming trophy, Alex. That is the one. Yeah, everyone wants it. Obviously, with with it being on Sky and what have you on that, it's just it's phenomenal,
Yeah.
phenomenal event.
Yeah, definitely, mate. What's your earliest memories of FishO, mate? Obviously, it's been going a long while now. It's gone from
I think
natural waters to
yes. So I'm sure it was '94. The first one was it '94 and '95.
94. I've got it
Was it
down as.
'94? And my first memory is when Pimmy won on. I'm sure it was Holcroft. Dave Pimlott.
Yep.
That's my earliest memory when he won. And then after that, sort of Steve Ringer days when he won on the long cast on Hayfield, catching them big ghosties on the feeder. And then obviously um, floating pole when that worked, Rob Hitchins and obviously Nathan Watson,
Yep.
and Cookie, you know what I mean? And then coming all the way through, Neil Machin's win when he had the biggest weight ever. So
Yeah.
I remember them all and I always thought, I want to get into that, So I started off, I think my first one was like, it's on 97, 98, it was qualifying the River Weaver near me. And I finished sixth. I just fished
Yeah.
stick float. I remember it was amazing. Had some lovely roads. I finished sixth, but I'm like, I want to qualify for this. But I didn't actually qualify until 2008, the first time it moved to Cudmore. That was my
Yeah.
first year. But that's my earliest memory when Pimmy won. You know what I mean? I was fishing with Pimmy a lot back then, and him and John Chapman shared the money, and yeah, it was awesome. I think it was the least winning weight as well for FishO. I'm sure it was something like 12 or 14 pound. It wasn't much.
Yeah. I think it started at Mallory Park as well, wasn't it?
That
On
was the first one, yeah.
yeah.
Ian Jennings, I'm sure it was, who won the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah, no, it's like it's mad how like you can just like flip back and remember things like that. I'd have only been two, promise, or
Yeah.
three. Well, right, I was like 15, 14 or 15 back then. So
Yeah.
yeah, proper mate.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned names, obviously like Neil Machin, I like to that,
Yeah.
and they're still there now, aren't they, mate? I saw that Neil
Oh mate.
was
He's
second
making
on.
it
He was second in the
Partridge.
match this,
I was
wasn't
yeah on the Maver at Partridge this weekend. Just gone. He's made his comeback last year, kind of thing.
he?
I
Yeah,
think he won. Listen to this, Alex. He proper mic dropped it, Neil. Such as the angler he is. He'd not been for a while. He had like a couple of weeks off work, and then I think he won like 7 or 8 matches, one after another at Partridge.
yeah,
He's like, right, go back to work now. Mike dropped it, went straight back. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like
Done.
phenomenal talent. He's
I,
awesome, mate.
I could
So good.
always remember one thing with Neil, and that was back at Erenbrook in the Winter League days when there was like 30 teams on it.
Yeah.
And I was probably only 15, 16 at the time. And he said to me, he says, "Oh, yeah, I've fed maggots 2 meters down my peg and I've caught 2 meters, F1's 2 meters past my bait."
It's nuts, isn't it?
And it just blew your mind in a
Yeah.
way back then. And you think about it now and you think, oh, it sounds right now.
Yeah, but back then he was like obviously the first one to do that kind of thing, the
Yeah.
maggot short and all that, the macho line as it's known, and it's
Yeah.
just like phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What
You've got him and Andy Moore's, both of them.
Andy Moores as well, yeah, yeah,
Exactly. So,
definitely. Yeah, I grew up fishing with all them, along with obviously Jeff and everything at Cudmore. So
yeah.
yeah, brilliant memories, mate. Really good memories.
Yeah, exactly. And now we'll look at, mate, obviously talked about a lot. You've actually got a FishO title, mate.
I have, mate. Yeah.
At one of
No,
your
it's,
favourite venues.
yes, definitely. It was just phenomenal. So obviously, first time qualified in 2008, when the first time it went to Cudmore. And back then they had the biggest fish prize. And me and my now wife Louise were due to get married that year. And obviously, biggest fish prize was like 5 grand. So I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, if I can't win the main thing, then 5 grand towards it. That'll do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Spend it on the
exactly, mate.
honeymoon. And I missed out on the biggest fish by 5 seconds. I've
Wow.
had this big £16 common on that I've like up with a minute to go, sit back as quick as I could, and we'd only just started using puller kits. So
Yeah,
rather than stripping, I'm like that, winding it round my hand as quick as I could.
yeah.
Didn't know what I was doing really. And I've sort of like gone to scoop it, hit it with a net, and it's gone off on another run. But yeah, I think £9 won the biggest fish that year. So this would have like nearly doubled it. And yeah, the look on my wife's face wasn't good when I missed out on
No.
there you go. It's one of them things.
Yeah, so the win itself, mate. I can remember. Obviously, I'm local as well. I can remember
Yeah,
a
man.
lot of talk going round. You fishing slop at 16 meters, 14.5 meters, absolutely wellying it in.
Yeah, definitely.
It caused a lot of hype before the final, didn't it? Because I think it was it one of the finals where you had to qualify on Sui's order?
Oh, mate, it was like the most horrendous sort of lead up to it ever. So obviously coming back to the qualifier, I qualified at Partridge, and that's when two
Yeah,
people went through. So Fisky won it, Ben Fisk won it, and obviously I've come second. And but then you like obviously on the qualifier now, you're straight through to the final. That's
yeah,
it. Brilliant. Right, you're in
right.
it. That was the first time they'd ever had a semi-final, Alex.
Yeah,
And it was the most stressed and tense I'd ever been because obviously you had to do gear for the final, but you had to get ready for the semi-final as well. And
yeah,
all that was going through my head was like, you've only got to finish in top 2 out of 4, top 2 out of 4. Now, obviously, Cudmore home venue, I really fancied it, and having someone like Bagger as your
yeah,
bank runner, you know what I mean, proper chills you, calms you down. But just getting through that semi-final was like relief in itself.
yeah.
So I managed to win the semi-final. I think I only had like 18 kilo. I wasn't a big weight on Suez.
I was going to say you were on one of the early numbers, weren't you? I think.
Yeah, peg 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I managed to get through there, and then obviously the peg that I drew in the finals, like I was so confident, mate.
yeah,
Peg 5, I think it was, which is the old peg 20 on arena. And back then it was all completely different to what it is now. It was all like it was perfect for me,
yeah,
basically. Everything was little eye, tench, F1s. Now these F1s went in sort of 2 weeks before the final.
yeah,
And then I sorted this like slot line out. You know, I wanted to fish it a bit further, but on the day it was really windy.
yeah,
I decided to fish it at 13, and it was solid, but I just couldn't hold my pole in it long enough. But I went
yeah,
in, slapped it straight away when I went on it, and it's gone straight away. But yeah, luckily there was enough fish there on that short line, and they stayed there all day. So yeah, it's phenomenal, mate. I
and
loved it.
that's name on the trophy, mate. That's all that matters.
Absolutely, absolutely, mate. Yeah, that's no one can take that off you. That means more than obviously the pennies are amazing. You know, they
Yeah,
help you out financially and what have you, or the kids in my case.
yeah,
But yeah, no, getting your name on that trophy, that's it. It's on there for good.
yeah.
So yeah, brilliant.
It's like we've said the biggest thing to get your name on, isn't it? In UK match fishing.
100%, definitely. Yeah,
So we'll have a look at the venues now, mate.
yeah,
We'll,
man. Let me just
we'll,
get them
we'll
up
have
on
a
my
look at the
phone.
venues for next year. We've got a few new ones, a
Yeah,
few
boy.
returns.
Absolutely. Here we go. Yeah, so first one, Tunnel Barn. I didn't actually manage to get a ticket for this one.
Yeah,
Bit good. But my first choice was Old Huff because it's literally 5 minutes from my house. So that was
yeah,
always going to be my first choice.
yeah,
And I think most people's first choice is obviously Tunnel, so that was the first one to go. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So phenomenal venue. Um, Baldings I've got. I can't wait for. I love
yeah,
Bold. Last year there was so many weights, and that's the thing about these venues now. Since like obviously the peg numbers have dropped, and
yeah,
you know not getting as many anglers on, you get a day's fishing. You know,
yeah,
all these venues, you get a day's fishing. Last year I weighed just over £80, like 80, £85. I'd come nowhere. I think I was
yeah.
like fourth on my lake with that. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I think one of the things that come from Baldings as well, mate, last year, I think Des drew one of the stock ponds, didn't he, in one of the corners?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think he still come third on the match. I think he had a silly weight.
Oh, it was ridiculous. And
Yeah.
like, not like Des, Alex. You might not have heard him moan
Yeah.
before, but he
Yeah.
moaned quite a bit. Love you, Des. Sorry, mate. But yeah, no, it just shows you the potential of that
Yeah.
place.
And that I think
Phenomenal.
that's one of the reasons we bought it back last year. It's obviously
Oh,
full of great big F1s. It's full of carp. It's got
I couldn't
everything,
believe
hasn't it?
the
Really?
size of them F1s. They're like when they pop up, you're like, "Ugh!" And then if you miss them
Yeah.
that first time, they're like, "Be seeing you," and they're
Yeah.
gone. You know what I mean? So angry. Yeah, they're amazing. But even the
Yeah.
skimmers weren't like little babby ones. They were like 8 ounce, 10 ounce worth catching. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Oh,
Definitely.
shocking.
Definitely.
And then where after that? Stop Lindholm after that. Now Lindholm, oh, that is an absolute beast of a venue. I had the qualifier last year on there. I do on Bonsai. I've had £149 and probably come 30th.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Absolute ridiculous venue. It's a
Yeah.
joke of a venue that. So
What
obviously that's
Aaron and Alex have done is
oh
it's beyond, and Neil,
ridiculous.
obviously. Neil's had
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Neil's the man. But
It's one of the like most productive venues I think I've ever been to in the country. You know,
yeah,
on a big scale like it is, obviously big fishery. It's phenomenal. You know what I mean? What a job they've done there.
yeah,
So good. And then where are we then? Yeah, so sort of third week we're in Partridge, so Partridge Lake. So one of my personal favourite venues in the whole wide world. It's been very kind to me over the years. I
yeah,
think I've qualified twice official from Partridge. And I just love the venue. You know, we've had qualifier there this weekend. It's fished really well. You
yeah,
know, you're guaranteed, but again, it's another one of them fisheries, Alex, where, well, all of them, to be fair, looking down the list, you guarantee the day's fishing at every single venue. You know what I
yeah,
mean? In particular, Partridge, you know, some little nicky nacky new peg, you think he ain't going to do well there, but you just have
yeah.
a day's fishing, just fish it nice and tidy. Because the other beauty about waffling, aren't they, Alex? I like
It's all
waffling.
right, mate. It's all
Another,
right.
another beauty, obviously, like the section pails are decent, so
Yeah,
it sort of forces you to go to your peg. Whereas years gone by, you might have thought, no, I'll go to IKEA or McDonald's or something like that. I won't bother going
yeah,
to my peg. And
yeah,
it's giving someone advantage, like more room, and it makes their peg fish better. I'm not going to mention any names, but I've seen that happen twice. You know about the one at Herringbrook, don't you? I
yeah.
bet you
We
remember that
do.
one, don't you?
We do.
When he's like not even gone to his peg, and yeah, I think that was Swaney who qualified that time, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
it was, mate.
But yeah, no, it happens. So obviously, yeah, go to your peg because everyone's got something to fish for. Um, I think I've got this. I've never gone to Westwood before.
Yeah,
Obviously, we go there for the final, but I've only ever fished it once before, and I've actually gone for one of them this year, and I've got a ticket for it. So
yeah.
can't wait for that.
I found Westwood really interesting. I went up the year that we got the final just to one of the qualifiers, just to have a walk around, just to get everything sussed.
Yeah,
Um, and it could be one. It could be one from anywhere.
right,
There's,
right. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, you've obviously got Skylark. You've got, which is obviously the big round Snake Lake, which is
Yeah.
a bit of everything in. But then you go over to Swallow and it's got F1s. But then you've got these 15-pound horrible things swimming round.
Oh no, we're not going for them. I'll be in
Yeah,
the bar if I'm catching them, Alex.
yeah,
But yeah, no, Jamie has warned me, Jamie of the Hyows. He says, Andrew, Westwood is not a venue for you because you get too many fish in your peg. He says, Andrew, don't feed anything. So I'm
yeah,
looking forward to like how many fish actually rock up. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I've seen
definitely.
some videos on it and like it just looks absolute carnage. So
Yeah,
yeah, proper looking forward to that.
100% carnage.
And then we are at the old Huff after that. So
Yeah,
obviously, venue really close to me. I fish it all the time, know it really well. I think this is isn't it? Is it fourth year this year?
all
Certainly
tough.
third year, maybe
Yeah,
fourth year.
yeah, full.
Um, I've fished them all previously. Again, always get a day's fishing here.
Yeah,
You know, and it's one of them venues, Alex. Obviously, you go to some venues and you know within a few pegs or what lake you want, where it's going to win. Old off, you generally don't know where it's going to be won from. It's won
yeah.
from different, or has been won from a different area every single year, different lake. So yeah, I can't wait for that one, mate.
What sort of weight are we reckoning there, mate? Sort of low ton,
Flipping it. The beauty of it is because obviously it's not going to be a massive weight. It's going to
yeah.
be, I reckon, around £100. It could generally come from anywhere.
Even the
On the
special
special lake,
lake.
that West Sutty's 4 fish. That's
Yeah,
it. Might be 2 fish, 2 catfish. That's it. You won.
yeah,
Missing you. I'm going. I'm in the final. It's
yeah,
like it's one of them. You just don't know. Um, but yeah, no, it's a phenomenal venue. I think yeah, around £100, 100 to 120. But it's any peg, any lake's capable of that. Really is. Phenomenal fishery. Love it. Then again, one of my probably favourite venues in your wide world. I've not been to loads recently is the Oaks. I love fishing the Oaks.
Yeah.
Them new lakes are something special. So back in the day when I've not even mentioned the Camasan Matchman of the Year yet, have I, Alex?
Not
How
yet.
dare I? Back in them days when I used to, I'd go Oaks one day and Woodlands Thursday the next day. The Oaks for me was like special, Snake Lake
Yeah.
fishing on the Cedar and the Maple Lake back then. But since these new lakes come in, flipping heck, the weights on there are just phenomenal, aren't they? So that's going to be a big weight from there. I think I'll win that, mate. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've got a ticket for the Oaks. I'm sure I've got the Oaks. I always apply for the Oaks. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And then we're at Morelands now. Obviously, Grant Albert, what a job he's done with that venue.
Well, yeah.
Absolute phenomenal. He's like transformed it, getting it back to its heyday. Morelands Farm for me was my first ever commercial fishery that I fished
Yeah.
in, I'm going to say 1993, something like that. And like where Grant's got it to now is just phenomenal. He's doing an awesome job, with the cafe as well, with his wife Nicola and his daughters. Hell of a venue. I love the place.
The thing with Grant is he can't do enough for you as well.
Oh no, he's sound. Such a nice
Detrimental
bloke.
to himself, mate. He is
Yeah.
spot on in everything he does.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I love Grant. He's an awesome bloke. And yeah, so that unfortunately I didn't get Morelands. I was too
Yeah.
late on that one. They'd all blooming sold out for Morelands, so I didn't get that one. Gutted about that. And then the Glebe. Is the
Yeah.
Glebe? No, the Glebe's not a new one, is it? The Glebe's been
No,
in before.
we had one at the Glebe last year, but it was pretty much a newcomer last year.
Oh right, okay.
Uh, I think Roy had it in the past, obviously with the final and stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Roy's not with us anymore, is he?
No, yeah.
Big shame, really. But what a
Yeah.
venue! What a venue!
Like that, yeah, that is like a crazy venue. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like take lots and lots of keep nets just in case.
yeah,
Even though, well, it used to be like £100 limit, you still need to take like 8 keep nets.
yeah,
Which is the Glebe. It's like, yeah, again, it's I know you think where you'd want to draw, but again, they can just show up anywhere. I remember one year, I think it was a Golden Mule qualifier. I didn't take any casters with me because I thought, well, it's all pellet. Jamie
yeah.
says just fish pellets. And Tom Edwards, I'm sure it was Lake 5. Tom Edwards had like £140 of these great big bream. I didn't
Yeah.
even know were in. You know what I
Solid with
mean?
them.
So
Solid
it's
with
just
them.
like ridiculous. So to see fish like that. So yeah, and then again, another venue where you don't know where you want to be.
No,
Western Pools. Now I've got Western Pools. I love Western.
same here, mate.
What a venue. So I drew last year, Alex. I drew on Jack's.
Yeah.
Right in the corner, little babby corner with like Stretton behind you. I don't know what
Yeah.
peg it was.
Was it in the 20s, 23?
Could have been. It's where all the lily pads are in that
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah, I know.
Kieran Marsden was down where them willow trees are
Yeah.
overhanging, and everyone on our lake has just had a fish and chuck all day.
Yeah.
I've come fifth on my lake with like £110, come nowhere. I'm sure Kieran was second or third that day.
Yeah.
And it's just again hell of a venue. Obviously they've got the clay pit off site, so you
Yeah.
don't know where it's going to be won from.
Yeah, so one of the most sociable venues in the country as well. You've only got
Oh my days,
you've
yeah.
only got to look at Mike and Rachel, what they've done with obviously the
Oh, yeah.
accommodation, the bar,
The
everything.
bar. So if you're not doing any good, folks, you will find me at the bar, or
Yeah.
even hang on, what date is it on? Fifth. Oh no, I'm going to say I'll be on the river, but it's still in close season. Oh, gutted.
Yeah.
No, we can't fish on the river. Makings, and the next one. So we're halfway through now. We're on Makings.
Another one that's come back, really.
I really wanted a ticket for this one. I didn't get one for Makings. I was gutted, but flipping it, what Andy's done to that venue and the staff there, mate, just phenomenal, isn't it?
It's going from step to step with Andy. I spoke to him the other day, and he just says we just keep doing the work and doing what needs to be done.
It's phenomenal. So many fish in that place now. It's like ridiculous. Proper transformed it. I fished the AT, what's it, the Silvers qualifiers at Makings, and they're always phenomenal. You always get snarled up in carp, you know what I mean? But then you get snarled up in these great big breams as well. So yeah, phenomenal venue. Holcroft next. Holcroft, flipping heck. Some of the carp, if they get going on there, don't they? Like,
well, this is the first year it's been back for probably 8-10 years now.
It's not been for a long time, has it, Holcroft? That'd be really interesting, that, Lots of water to go for, so obviously you're going to have a lot of room, aren't you, with just 100 pegs on it.
Yeah. Well, we had a look last year, obviously the UK champs results that kept coming, and we thought it's definitely worth going back. So
definitely, especially the size of the blooming fish in there.
Yeah.
That's end of May. Where are we now? So 8th of June, Western Pools, number 2.
Back to
Again,
it.
it's just going to be phenomenal. You've got to have another one at Western, haven't you, Alex?
Yeah.
Got to.
It's gonna be a shallow and edge game in it. There's no doubt about it. Both qualifiers. It's gonna be loads of casters, maybe a bit of edge work.
Stop it. No, no, just shallow and casters, mate.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention anything else. And then we're now 15th, so day before the open season. Then we are at Partridge Lakes again.
Yeah.
That'll be phenomenal that time of year. Again, it's going to be all shallow fishing.
Shallow
All
fishing.
shallow fishing, lots of casters, all maggots. You can do either or there.
Yeah.
Meat will be starting to work then as well. Yeah, expect some massive weights on that one across all the lakes. You know what I mean? Westwood after that.
Yeah.
Westwood Lake 2. That'll be phenomenal, wouldn't it? That time of year, sort of like getting towards the end of June.
Yeah. Be a
Yeah.
200 pound weight for that one, I think.
Oh, easy. And Monk Lakes is like it's not been
Yeah.
there for a while, has it?
It has. It's one of them that falls behind the radar, really, mate. Obviously, it's one of them with the Southern qualifiers. It doesn't get the attention that it really
Right.
should.
Okay.
But again, phenomenal venue, full of great big carp.
I remember going to Monk Lakes right back in the day. I'm going to say 2004, 2005. Nathan Watson qualified, and I travelled there and back in the day, and I was
Yeah,
a bit tired. It's
I bet.
blooming miles away, but
Yeah,
the fishing was phenomenal. I'm sure he won with a load of barbel. My mate Kieran Rich was second with a load of barbel. You know, they
yeah.
used to catch a load of barbel in the keep nets. I think obviously it's changed since then, but yeah, Monk Lakes flipping it. I've not got a ticket for that.
No,
That's too far away.
bit too far.
Then we're back to Lindholm again, flipping it. Can you imagine what the weights are going to be at that time of year at Lindholm?
Yeah, so we've got two different matches at Lindholm, really. We've got 100 pegger and 120 pegger.
Yeah,
The 120 pegger, obviously, Alex is going to peg it a bit more loosely, including some
yeah.
of the likes like Benny's and stuff. So it's going to be a ridiculous weight job, I think.
Yes, definitely. Get them big ones rocking. Who won it last year? Ian Giddings won it last year, didn't he?
Ian Giddings, yeah,
And
yeah,
got them all shallow, didn't he? And local, Grat Biggins.
yeah.
Qualified for everything that last year, didn't he? Ian did,
He
bless him.
did, he did.
Uh, Gold Valley,
A
is that a new one on there? Gold
that-
Valley? It's not been
That's
there
a
for a long time, has it?
that's a returner. I had a word with Will when he come back from winning the second in the Europeans individually.
Yes. Yeah.
And I said, look, what's the chances of coming back to goal? He says, not a problem at all. He says, we just want it in the summer when the weights are going to be big.
Oh
So,
yeah. That'll be phenomenal. I mean, obviously massive fish there. A lot of F1's gone into the venue as well, haven't there?
yeah,
We
we've
went
got a lot of comments about that one. People wanting to go.
yeah,
Obviously, Southern, keeping a few of the Southern lads happy.
definitely. There's a
Yeah,
big lot
I
of
think,
Max English on down that neck of the woods. So
yeah,
we filmed last year with Will on, I think we went on Syndicate Lake and the fishing was phenomenal.
yeah,
The size of the carp and the F1s in there were just like ridiculous. So,
yeah.
oh, that'd be awesome.
It'll be a silly one.
Um, Tunnel Barn, second Tunnel Barn one. I'm sure I've got a ticket for that one. So
Yeah,
that'd be phenomenal fishing.
yeah,
Little short babby work on top kit, meat, and then obviously your maggots and your pellet, everything in it,
yeah.
casters, anything you want to do on there.
Sarah's done a great job of like obviously
Oh yeah.
it had a bit of a lull, didn't it, a few years
Yeah.
ago, but now
Yeah, but
it's
no.
now it's lift
There's
off again.
nowhere. I always tell everyone, like, there's nowhere like Tunnel. You can go anywhere in the country, like, do well, catch fish. There's nowhere like Tunnel for like consistency all through the different seasons and all that. You
Never.
guarantee the day's fishing. If ever we're struggling on features, I always end up going to Tunnel because
Yeah,
you just guarantee the day. You know what I mean? It's one of
yeah,
them.
exactly
What a
that.
venue. And then we're finishing off, Alex,
Yeah,
at Marston Fields. Lovely venue. Dale and Neil are doing a
yeah,
phenomenal job there bringing this fishery up. Yeah, can't wait for that one. I've got a ticket for that one. I'm really looking
yeah.
forward to it.
We've got the ladies and disabled there as well, mate, the national championship. So
Oh, right, okay.
that is the week after that.
Right, brilliant.
Obviously Dale, Richo, Neil,
Yeah.
all of them there doing a cracking
Go on,
job.
Richo. Yeah, forgot about Richo. I think the
Can't let
beauty
it
of
slide,
Marston,
man.
why I love it so much, is the fishing's so diverse.
Yeah,
You know, one lake you could chuck a method, the other lake's bomb and pellet, the other one it might be pole shallow, pole
yeah,
on the deck long, down the margins. You know what I mean? There's something for everyone. So
yeah,
phenomenal fishing. So that'll be good. That I can't wait for that one.
yeah.
Hopefully, I've qualified before it, but I'd quite like to
Exactly.
fish it as well.
Exactly, mate. And then we've got the final back at Westwood
Westwood, yes.
on the same lake that we're always on.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Proper.
We've had two winners so far at Westwood, haven't we?
Yes, definitely. I'd love to get that. I'd love to have a do at Westwood. It'd be like, yeah, proper.
Yeah,
But yeah, obviously the winners like Matty and Christian, flipping heck, yeah. Um, and Matty's straight back in it again, isn't he?
yeah,
Bless him. He definitely
exactly
won't bet
that. And
against him again. So,
what's not to say about the both of them at the minute?
oh,
Two
ridiculous.
young anglers that are at the top of
You
the
know
game.
what, Alec? They make me sick. Too good
Yeah,
they are. Too good. They're like little mini Andy Bennett's, aren't they? They do me head in.
yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
no, fair play. They're just doing awesome at the minute. So
so in your opinion, going into this year's qualifiers, obviously favourites for the final, favourites to go through. I know it's one of the hardest things to call, but let's have a chat.
right.
Let's have a chat.
Do you want me to tell you that definitely the first three who are going to be qualifying?
Yeah, let's
So
go.
first on the Jamie Hughes will make it 37 times on the trot this
Yeah.
year. Andy Bennett will make it 79 times on the trot this year. And Andy Power will make it 369 times on the trot. You know what I mean? So them three, they're just the amount of time and effort they put into these qualifiers is just
So
ridiculous. You know what I mean? The traveling that these boys do, and that's why they are where they are. You know what I mean? They're
yeah.
top of the game, very
Well,
top, and they
I think one thing that sets it apart, Andy Power at the minute, he's down at Whiteacres. He was on Python yesterday. I think he broke the match record by about, I think it was something ridiculous by 40 or
it's
50 pound.
He's just he's another one who makes me sick.
Yeah.
He was at Partridge on Saturday, and he's like, I said to him, come and see him when he's drawn. He's not drawn a good peg on Spey. And like, just get yourself down to Whiteacres. But then thinking, actually, you're going to give someone room. You just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you do know, but he's not done any good. But fair play, he stuck it out. Then he's gone straight down to Whiteacres after that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, the amount of miles that these boys put in, flipping it,
Yeah. I think it
ridiculous.
was last year. I think he drove from Whiteacres to
Yeah.
Westwood, qualified at Westwood, and drove somewhere absolutely absurd after that as
He was
well.
probably on is that the time when he was on, like, Feeder Masters or something like that,
Yeah,
and then he went
that
and did won the Feeder Masters? It's like,
that one as
oh,
well. Yeah,
ridiculous. Absolutely
yeah.
ridiculous.
And what else have we got to look out for, mate? Obviously, got the likes of Christian,
Yeah.
got the likes of yourself, got the likes Neil Machin coming back.
Neil Machin's coming back. I mean, he says he's just gonna stay local, but you never know with Neil. There's so
Yeah,
many young anglers up and coming. I wanna mention a few, like, young there, Harry Campbell,
yeah.
phenomenal talent, really, really young, you know what I mean? People like that. There's loads of them.
Brad Lucas
Yeah.
won a festival last week at Whiteacres. First time
Yeah.
down there.
Just like, yeah, young Brad, yeah, just there's a lot coming through. You know, I often get asked like, what's the state of like fishing going forward? Is it healthy? And I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, flipping it. You want to see some
yeah,
of these youngsters coming into it. You've only got to look at like obviously the talent pathway and things like that, and you know what I mean, the match academy and stuff. It's like
yeah,
really healthy. So it like bodes really well for the future. And yeah, like obviously the access they've got to it, you know, for the likes of YouTube and social
yeah.
media side of it, and you know, coaching days or whatever, this, that, and the other, and it's freely accessible now to
Yeah,
get yourself to that standard. And
and
yeah,
that's one of the questions I was going to ask, mate.
go on, mate.
What bit of advice would you give to a youngster, mate, that wanting to get into the commercial scene, wanting to qualify for FishO, wanting to
Yeah,
go forward?
I mean, obviously, first and foremost, Alex, you've got to enjoy your fishing. That is
Yeah,
like
correct.
first and foremost. I wouldn't say jump straight into it. You know, take your time, club matches first, and then try the open matches. But then, you know, once you get up to scratch on the open matches, draw a peg and it's yours. You know what I mean? I always remember back to Shane Atkin when he won, I think 2011 at Cudmore.
Yeah,
I think it's the first. He had one qualifier, his first like proper match he'd ever fished, qualified, and
yeah.
his next match after that was the FishO final, and he went and won it. He
It's
had
mad.
Adam Richards as his bank runner. It's like, and then he qualified the year after.
Yeah.
It's like flipping heck, so it can, it can be done, but don't be overawed by it. And just first and foremost, it's all about enjoying your fishing. You've got to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't get put off if you're like you're not on a lot of fish and this, that, and the other. Just keep going. But yeah, don't throw yourself in the deep end. Don't go on the opens first. Club matches first, foremost. Enjoy it, then go into opens, and then
Yeah.
just get yourself a ticket and see what happens.
Yeah. And I think one of the things, obviously, with qualifiers, isn't it, mate? You could draw 10 absolute duff pegs in a year, but
Yeah,
it only takes one.
takes one go. That's it. I mean, from like previous years, Alex, I would say now the last few years you're going to have a day's fishing on all of these venues. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You couldn't say that from previous years. You know, when they put too many anglers on like little tiny lakes and that, you couldn't say that. But now, certainly the last few years, I just go to my peg every time now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's brilliant. You can have a day's fishing.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
And I think another shout out to, obviously, we have volunteers that go out and organise these FishO qualifiers, mate. I think they need a massive shout out, the likes of Dave
Oh yeah,
Watkins, David Kent,
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
Boris Kilner, just to name a few of them, mate. Obviously, we've had
Yeah, brilliant.
England international Julie Abbott running them as well. So
Yes, go on, Julie. Absolutely. No, phenomenal job. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, well
yeah,
done.
and it couldn't be done without that, mate. So
No,
we'll end the fish show chat there, mate. But I've got one more question for you.
go
If
ahead.
if there is anything you could win or win again from the Angling Trust, what would it be?
Oh, mate, it's got to be FishO.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I want to try and catch up with my mates, Bagger and Blooming Jamie, but yeah, I'm feeling. I don't know, like something's changed this year. Something's clicked. I've had a horrible like 2 years personally. No, it's been horrendous. But this year I feel like proper ready for it. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
loving my fishing again now. I can't say I've like loved it the last 2 years. Obviously, it's been amazing getting out with the likes of Rich and Jamie for doing our winning ways. That's proper kept me going. I love that. But like this year, it's like something's like changed, and I'm like proper
It's
up for it again now. But
just
yeah,
it
fish
just
on, mate.
clicked. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
clicked.
definitely,
That's
definitely.
awesome. But well, we'll leave it there, mate. I just want to wish everyone out there best of luck with FishO this year, mate. And I think
Not
yourself,
too much luck. Wish me more luck. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, exactly. Exactly, mate. So we'll leave it there,
No,
mate. I hope everyone's enjoyed that. Just drop us a like and subscribe, and we'll get some more episodes out like this.
lovely. Thank you very much for watching.